again. It's a little better. Hold on. Man, camera kind of blurry. Anyway, I'm about to roll with it because this is all I got. So, all right, guys. Truckernomics live Q&A again. I'm gonna touch on some topics. Topic with a Q&A. So now it's better. I don't have my phone now. So in case you guys watching the replay, but I forgot to wipe my camera off. I ain't used this camera so long. Now it's kind of blurry. You know what? Can get a little hood with it, guys. Hold on. The camera's gonna go black for a minute, but check it out. Look a little better. I'll roll with it. Anybody? Where you from? Put in the chat. Welcome to the room, guys. Welcome to the room. I can't even see my topic of what I put on here on this one. I got my webcam working this time, guys. I ain't on that phone no more. So do I look choppy? Hold on, let me see something. Q&A getting a little bit better, man. Live's getting a little bit better, guys. I can't see. Am I choppy? Anybody know? Do I look pixeled out? And could you guys hear me? Could anybody hear me? Hey, what's up, Woods and Bites? Could you hear me?
I mean, you take a beginner.
Could you hear me, Woods and Bites? Hold on, guys. Good quality. What's up, D? I can hear you. Cool. You guys have any questions, man? Leave it in the chat. Your boy stepping this game up, man. Got a webcam, baby. What's crazy is I had this webcam all the time I was doing lives on my phone. I had to do some stuff on YouTube. I'm looking down. I need to be looking up. It feel weird looking up. I'm looking down. So I'm looking down the camera up there, but I'm looking down so I can see the screen. I had this webcam for a while, but I didn't know how to use it. I had to like set up a YouTube so I'd be able to stream live. Video's good, sounding good. What's up, Wood Bike? Thank you, man. If they put any questions in the chat, guys, put it in the chat. Hold on a second. I sound all professional right here. The pecking on the keyboard like I know what I'm doing. Check it out. Oh yeah, messing up and everything. Don't even matter. Also, too, if anybody in Chicagoland area, and you got a story to tell, man, you want to be on camera and you don't mind being on camera, and you ain't got no warrants or nothing, you know. Some guys, I ask them to be on camera, they're like, man, look at that. You see nothing about no camera. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, man, shoot me a text, say, man, type in interview or something like that, and then we hook up, man, so I get you on the camera, man, so you can tell your story. To help truckers out. You actually got a trucker story. Jeffrey Spice Sr. says, what's going on, man? I appreciate you doing what you do, big brother, because the videos that you put out here has been helping me get an understanding of the container world. Man, no problem, man. I'm glad they help you out, Jeffrey. I'm glad it's the purpose of them, man, to help out, oh, man. I'm glad. I had a guy on here last, he made it, I don't know if some of you guys was in the chat last week. He said, man, I don't know what you guys complaining about containers for. I've been doing it a week. And I don't see what the big problem is. I said, yeah, you got videos to watch, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to look up. Matter of fact, hold on. Still looking down. So if I'm looking down, guys, my eyes red as ever, man. I'm kind of sleepy. I ain't going to lie. But anyway, I'm going to get to the topic at hand. If you guys got any questions, put in the chat. I'm just going to roll with it right now. Now, the topic is, I think I can't even see it on here. I don't even know what the topic is. I think I put, I forgot what the topic was, guys. Excuse me. Hold on a second. I want to touch on something. All right. Yeah, it says you can't just be a trucker. All right, cool. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. You just can't be a trucker, man. See, so I'll get started. I'll take the questions, though. So what's the purpose of this live for questions? I just put a topic on so I can find a reason to leave it up. IDB says how to set minimum freight rate as a motor carrier. How to set a minimum freight rate as a motor carrier. You mean as far as like with direct customers, DB, or you talking about, well, get a little more specific, set minimum freight rate for what? Dealing with brokers? What do you mean? Dealing with who? Because if you, I don't know, I ain't even begin to try to answer that. Just tell me, what do you mean, like set rates with who? Freight rates with who? I know you said as a motor carrier, dealing with who? Through the brokers or customers? It's a couple ways, man. Well, with a customer, I hope you got to put a contract in place. That's what I would hope. You'll put a contract in place. If you deal with a customer, I will put a contract with the customer in place where both y'all agree with it. Now you got to also factor in that fuel prices and stuff adjust up and down, so you want to keep that in mind too. Because I've seen where some people set their price today at the fuel price today, and fuel went up, and then the contract they had was already set at the regular fuel price, and the inflation haven't kicked in yet, so you got to factor that in too. So I'll put a clause in there. So hey man, if things prices arise or occur, you might get upcharged because to keep up with the market rate with the inflation. So that's if you deal with a customer. When you deal with brokers, you gotta know how much it costs you per cent per mile to run each truck you got on the road, and you want to make a profit of that. Now, profit margins with truckers is usually about 15%, 20%. Now we see big numbers, so we thinking that it's more than that. But if you really break down the nuts and bolts of it, it's about 15%, 20% profit margin. So you don't want to run. You got to find out how to run your trucks. This for DB. You got to find out what it costs, your maintenance costs. Average truck per year maintenance is about 10 grand just on GP. So you got to factor in. You ain't counting the extra stuff like stuff that's break on the road. So what some guys do, they do cents per mile. It depends on the operation you got too. Like if you running mileage, like you going far, you just stretching out everywhere, you could do the cents per mile. You can put your cents in every so many cents per mile, go towards your maintenance. So many cents per mile go towards paying your driver. So many cents per mile go toward, operating costs and all that stuff. Or if you run like regional with flat rates, or depending on how you get your stuff set up, you can do percentages. Certain percentage goes to this and certain percentage goes to that based off your loads, the loads you are running. DB, all that pretty much is on you and how you got your stuff set up. It depends on what your equipment is doing, how is it running, and how you running them. All that plays a part in how you set your rates. Now you may set your rates like right now with the rates right now they suck. The rates are sucking pretty bad right now. So you could try to. It's still money out here. I got an interview. It's crazy. The video coming out tomorrow. I interviewed a buddy of mine. Been knowing this guy for years. He actually got 15 trucks. And a lot of this stuff right here is in that video. It's a part 2 video. So part 1 will be out tomorrow. Part 2 will be out in a couple weeks. Willing. But a lot of this is in there because he up to 15 trucks and he's growing. So in this market, so it's money to be made. It's just you gotta know how to do it. So it depends on how you want to run your truck, how your truck's DB. I hope that answers your question, DB. Because I really can't just sit on and say, well, yeah, you should charge 15 cents per mile, or you charge $2.50 per mile. I really can't say that without knowing exactly what your company looking like, how you running it. Like if I was sitting there looking at how your operations were set up, I'll have a better understanding how you say, okay, well, in order you survive to make a profit on this, you have to run like this. But I'm not looking at that right now. I'm just going off what you're asking me in the chat right here. So it's kind of hard to say off of that. But I would say get the best rates you can get as possible. Don't run. I would say this too. If possible, don't run just to be running, because sometimes it could cost you money to run. So if you got to sit for a minute to race get kind of better, or if you got to pass up on that load, then you do that to make sure you're able to turn a profit. Because if you don't, you're going to lose out. So that's what nigga for somebody who has running. I seen this guy, the Bills was pushing him up the road. He was taking anything. And I was telling him, like, man, look, one breakdown, and you out the game, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, you don't see it now because your truck is running good and it's running. But one mishap, you're going to find out all that money you thought you was making, you go put it all back into your truck because you ain't making enough profit to even be out there to turn that key. Some guys don't, they don't know their numbers, man. So DB, know your numbers, man. Know what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. All that play a part. I don't know, it's like kind of long drawn out answer, but I'm trying to over deliver, man. But without me actually looking at your numbers and talking to you, like physically talking to you, asking certain questions like how you do this, how you do that, and you can tell me right away, then it's kind of hard for me to really give you a clear-cut answer on that. That's all. All right, but you guys any more questions, please put in the chat right quick. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Woods and Bikes, DB, Jeffrey Spikes, whoever else in the chat, well, whoever's on the line. But the purpose of these lives is it's Truckernomics. The reason I use Truckernomics because I have to use the trademark because my lawyer told me to. So that's why you guys may see Truckernomics on the live Q&A. So I have to use it. So, but I try to put a topic behind it so that it just don't look like Truckernomics on there. Because the name of my academy, in case you guys don't know, is called Truckernomics. We'll actually show people how to make trucking work for you. Like all these questions right here, you went through that academy, I guarantee you, but you get that academy, you'll have a clear cut which way you want to go in trucking, and you'll figure out it won't be a no-brainer for you because all the questions you probably have is gonna be in the academy. All right, Fidel movement, what's the better regional or cross-town for containers? Depends on your tolerance, man. Some guys can't deal with traffic or deal with the rails yards all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is for Fidel movement. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Parched. Whoever say water ain't good, somebody told them wrong. All right, regional or crosstown. Depends on your tolerance. Depends on which pay. I'm gonna tell you like this. Crosstowns, you can rack up miles just as much as you do if you run regional. Not as much, but you could if you do enough of them. And the pay may be different. You know, I'm gonna give you an example since we on here. Let's say crosstowns may pay like $50 a container. So that means, let's say you want to make your goal to make about $500 to $700 a day. I got my calculator now. I got my calculator now. Your goal is $500 to $700 a day. So let's say $50. Let's see, 700. I'm not sure knows what I'm talking about here, right? I don't know. Nobody knows. Throw it in the chat. $50. That means you got to do 14 crosstowns. I just gave you a number. That means you got to do 14 crosstowns to make $700 for that day. Is it possible? It is, but the chances of you actually accomplishing it without a lot of problems, hitting rail yards like that, it's be kind of slim. Now, regional, on the other hand, you may get going to rail yard once, stretch out because you're running regional. It depends if you come back the same day or not. Will dictate how much money is it worth your money. And I'm gonna give you an example with that. Let's just say they may have a regional run. They may pay $700 going out, right? Regional. You touch the rail yard once. You get your load. You do what you gotta do with getting the count the yard, and you stretch out, right? So now you're supposed to come back the same day. They say it's $700 going out. Let's say $700 coming back. 7 going out, 7 coming back, right? It's $1,400 for a day. Now, if you make that in one day, that's worth it. Now, what if you get stuck out on that run? Now you got to do it in 2 days. So now you can't make it back the same day. Now you got to make it back the next day. Now you got to divide that $1,400 up into 2 days. So it depends. It all depends on how you know how to navigate the rails. You know how to what rail are you going into? How far are you going? Are you coming back the same day? Or you plan on going on a one-way trip? All that factors in. And I ain't finna talk about the fuel you probably go spend. You go probably burn more fuel if you're running west. Seem to burn more fuel, in my opinion. So it depends on which way you're running. Are you running toward the wind, uphill? All that's gonna burn more fuel. Then you spending more money in fuel than what the run's really paying. Then is it worth it? No. For on an operator. Now, if you're a company driver, it depends on how the runs pay. I didn't ask that. I should ask that from the beginning. Hey, Fidel movement. Are you talking about on operator, talking about company driver? Because there's a difference. Why wouldn't you answer that? I'm gonna touch on the topic, guys. I'm trying to leave this live full so that way I have a reason to leave it up. So truckers nowadays, it's not just enough to be a truck driver no more, man. A lot of things coming up the pike. I was looking at some driverless trucks. They are really starting to roll them out more. Electric trucks, they're trying to force guys to do them more in the upcoming years. So my thing is, if you have a driverless truck and you might have a man in behind the wheel of a driverless truck, and what are you just gonna do to team drivers? They ain't gonna need team drivers no more. So what happens? It cuts jobs. And they say the drive is a trucker shortage. So is it really a trucker shortage? That is the question. All right, Fidel Movement says owner operator. Owner operator, yeah. So all that stuff I just said applies to that, Fidel. It depends, man. It depends on a lot of factors based off the top of my head. I ran regional before and I've ran local. I've ran sub-regional. With my own truck, I only ran regional, sub-regional, and local. So I've done all 3 of them. So to me personally, I got a video coming out. Probably next week, Lord willing. It's talking about my 5 biggest fears, and surprisingly, this is in there because one of my fears was that's why I'm saying it depends on your tolerance level and what you want. One of my fears was sitting on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, broke down, man. Because you run regional, you it depends on how far you're running. Some of these containers go pretty far, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't seem like it, but they go. These guys take these containers down south and come back up. They go take them up from Chicago. Guys go to the other side of Pennsylvania, New York, and come back with a container. So I see some guys go to Colorado with a container from Chicago. So depends on where you're running. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of my biggest fears is in that video. You guys will see if you watch it. Getting stuck out somewhere, man. Stuck out somewhere like that, middle of nowhere, which I have ran regional for years too, man. I was crossing my fingers every time I went out there. Anyway, saludos, desde Ecuador. My Spanish is a little rusty, Marcos, but bienvenidos. All right, Jeffrey Spike says, what do you think about me placing my authority in suspension and leasing onto a company? Leasing onto somebody to learn what I'm doing first and find a customer, then reactivate my authority to get my foot in the door. I think that's a beautiful plan, man. You know what, guys, a lot of guys, Jeffrey, won't even suck up their pride to do that. But I tell guys, it's about winning the game out here. The game out here is to get out here, make it make sense, make your money, your profit. And then you find a way to position yourself as a trucker and make it work for you. I did a video on phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 drivers. And this is actually in that video. I think it's I don't know the name of the video. I think it's called Operators. I don't know. Somewhere on there. But I touched on this. Where some guys actually had their own authority and they realized, okay, I'm not ready for this yet. So they suspended their authority. Like my boy, I got a buddy right now, he suspended his authority, he's on the company right now. So he did it because he realized that, man, he got to get his bearings together. And he's been out here for a while. He's been out for like, I don't know, he's been out for over 20 years. And he did it, you know what I'm saying? Because he realized that it ain't about pride, it's about what makes sense. And not sense in like what makes common sense. I'm talking like what makes CENTS sense. They adds up to dollars. So you got to find out what makes sense, what makes money, what makes a profit. So if that's what you got to do, Jeffrey, I would do it. But when you find a company to lease on to, man, make sure that that situation works for you, because it's some games out there been playing with it's games out there been playing with people who leased on the companies too. So I like them humped over, man. Anyway, so Jeffrey, I hope that answers your question, man. I would. Wait, hold on. It says, what do you, okay. Yeah, no, I read that right. I'm doing, it says, wait, hold on. Let me read this again, Jeffrey, to make sure I'm. What do you do? What do you think about me placing my authority in suspension or leasing onto somebody? Okay, I got that. And it says, leasing onto somebody to learn what I'm doing first and find a customer, then reactivate my authority to get my foot in the door. Okay, I touched on that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. When you get your customer, though, man, I mean, that's the first step. You got to start with one customer at a time. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that. You know, I would. You can't go wrong. Only time you go wrong in this game is if you don't want to listen to people. You know what I'm saying? And you think you know it all and you don't know nothing. And you said right here, get your foot in the door, to find a customer, to get your foot in the door to learn what you're doing first. So you're taking a step ahead, man. So Jeffrey, salute to you, man. All right, BJ Teco, what's going on, man? What's your favorite sewage diver mission? What's your favorite silage? BJ, what we talking about here, man? What's going on? Anyway, Jeffrey, I hope that answers your question, man. And BJ, I don't know what's going on. I see you retracted the statement. I don't know if that was a typo. I don't know what that was. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. I forgot what I was saying, man. Anyway, truckers, man, like I said, you got these things coming at the pike, man. Like I found out some ports out east from this guy on YouTube. He said they got like their cranes is more all electrical, no man cranes and stuff like that. And like I said, I know the rail yards will eventually get them too, man. But you know, they got to revamp their whole system. But if you just a trucker, man, in like the next 15, 20 years, man, and you got driverless trucks out here, and you got electric trucks out here, and you got people with they don't need as much manpower, what you gonna do? That's my question, man. This ain't no knock to truck drivers who just love trucking. You can love it all you want, but you gotta make yourself more valuable in the marketplace. Because I'm telling you, trucking. I was doing some thinking, and I'm gonna say it on here while I'm waiting on some more questions to come in. You guys got any questions? Leave in the chat. I get emails all the time, and I don't think none of people show up to these lives, man. Maybe ain't caught on yet. I don't know, but I be trying to answer emails, but it's just too much. So I decided to do a live, and I don't get the questions, so I'm gonna try to just talk, just keep this live up. So, dang, I forgot what I was saying. That threw me off, man. What was I saying? Anyway, so guys be what they do is, man, they feel like, okay, trucking is just it to the end of the world, but at the end of the day, you gotta become more valuable, man. Oh, this now I remember what I was saying. I was doing some research on like why is trucking, because they said the driver shortage in trucking. So I started diving a little deeper into that. And I'm looking like ain't no shortage in drivers. What's the problem is the marketplace and pay to drivers is not equal. What I mean is lot of times drivers is quitting and moving around and getting out the industry because of a couple of reasons. It ain't a shortage. You got plenty of drivers coming in, but the competitive pay a lot of times is not there. You have the drivers getting spending too much time on the road, missing out on family, losing their families to the road, so they bail out. You got a bunch of different factors that factors into that. But another thing too that I see that they're doing is they try to lower they ain't try, they did. They lowered the barrier to entry to become a trucker. So you figure this. You could be 18-year-old now and drive, because before you had to be 18 years old, you can leave the state. But now you can be 18 years old and just drive, right? So they say they figure they'll get younger guys in there who don't know the industry that well. So guys like me who've been 20 years plus, we know how this game works. So of course they want to try to phase us out and get the guys who don't know no better until they catch on and make some money off before they catch on. So I was thinking, right? Why would anybody want to pay a truck driver a lot of money? Hear me out now. Hear me out. Why do you want to pay a truck driver a lot of money when anybody could drive a truck? Reason I said that's why I say you got to be more than just a truck driver, because you don't see guys knocking down the door to be coders. Like some of them guys that work at Google making $250,000 a year, $150,000 a year, because you don't have a lot of guys. The entry to become a coder is not that low. You got to really study and know how to write code. So a truck driver, all you gotta do is have a clean background, clean CDL, get behind the wheel, take some clear so low. So why would the market pay us so high? Because I think I saw a guy, I don't know, I forget. I saw a guy on YouTube. He actually made a good example with this. He said, man, Burger King was paying $17 an hour to work there, and you got a truck driver's job that's charging you, just want to pay you $18. $18. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Don't get me wrong. Some trucking companies out here that pay $20, some that pay $30 an hour. But I've seen some that pay pretty in the teens, man. And he made a good point. And I thought about it. I said, man, why is this an issue? The barrier to entry, man. Anybody could do it. So if anybody could do it, why would I pay you buku money when I can get this next guy who don't know the industry real good, pay him basic entry level position fee, and he could do the same thing you do for a fraction of the price. That's why I see you got to be more than a truck driver. All right, let me go back to the chat now. I'm on my little rant. All right, Kendall Snyder says, being the most valuable, efficient driver is not needed. When fuel reaches $5.25 a gallon, I got off my throttle. Was that a statement, Kenneth? I don't think that was a question. That was just a statement, right? That's a statement. I feel you. I'm not sure that was a question, but you could be a valuable. I would say this, and Fidel, okay, that was a statement. Okay, cool. I got you. All right, Fidel said, "Are you still driving?" Yeah, I still drive. I still drive for now. Eventually, I'll be out of it though. I'm not gonna be. It's a statement. All right, Kenneth, my bad. Kenneth Snyder says a statement. Shout out to Kenneth. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I'll be on the throttle like that much either, man, because I ain't got no fuel to be throwing out the stack. You know what I'm saying? But no, but if you're a driver, I would recommend, man, that you learn the market, man. If you go do trucking, do it all the way, but don't be afraid to learn other skills to be able to make yourself more valuable. Like Kenneth just said, he said don't pay to be valuable as a driver, but you can be valuable in other ways while you're still driving the truck. That's why I put that in some of my videos. I haven't been saying it lately, but I say that I'm not just a truck driver. I'm a person that drives a truck. Believe it or not, your boy got a lot of skills. I'm not just a driver, man. My thing is, if I'm going 100% in something, like if I'm doing rail yards, I'm gonna go 100% in it. If I'm doing Like my academy, I'm going 100% in it. I'm not the type that go dip my toe in something, man. Cause I've learned that you get your dip your toe in, that's gonna hurt just as much if your whole foot was in there. So you might as well just jump in both in and just get it over with. That's just my mindset. All right, Kendall Snyder says, I am OTR still on the road. Man, shout out to you, man. I couldn't do it, brother. I couldn't do it, Kendall. I tried that OTR stuff, man. It just wouldn't fit for me, man. It takes a special person to me, man, to be able to do that. Cause shout out to you guys, man. Cause OTR was rough. It was really rough on me. I was depressed. I ain't gonna lie. Just because I'm a home dude, man. I'm a homebody, man. I could get out there and do it if I had to, but I'm not that dude, man. So shout out to Kenneth for doing that, man. Cause OTI still needed, just not by me, man. I can't do it. So anyway, man, but like I was saying, guys, if I'm looking down, I'm not looking at the camera. I know it probably look kind of disrespectful because I'm looking at the screen and the camera is up here. So instead of me looking like this, yeah, guys, I'm looking at that. Feel weird. My eyes even starting to dry out. All right, Kendall Snyder says, this is my stats, 7.9, 59 miles to the gallon. You getting almost 8 miles to the gallon? That's cool, man. Do 59.2. Man, that makes sense, man, because, a lot of these big companies, they govern their trucks. What was that? Did they try to put speed limiter, what they call speed limiters on tractors now? They're trying to pass a law to put speed limiters on them. Man, I look sleepy, man. I am, guys. This is a long day, man. But I told myself I'm gonna stick with these lives, so I'm gonna stick with the lives, man. So, but that's good stuff, Kenneth, man. If you're still in here, man. So those who out there who want to be on operators, you on operators now, and you running up the road like that, it's under 60 miles per hour seem to be winning for Kenneth. What kind of truck you got, Kenneth? If you're still in here, what kind of truck is that? And what year? But anyway, until you answer that, I'm gonna go on with this, guys. I'm gonna try to keep this full, so in case you watch it on replay, it makes sense. Not a bunch of dead live. So if you're a truck driver and you out there, make sense out of what you're doing, man. Make sure you really focus on everything. Make sure now one track. Kendall says something. All right, Kendall Snyder says 2020 Cascadia threatened to trade it in for 23. They trying to make you you got you on a third, or you leased on to somebody, Kendall? Because I'm saying I know a guy, they trying to make him trade his truck in to get a newer truck. His truck paid off, but they want their trucks under 5 years old or something like that. So are you threatening to trade it in? Are you trying to get rid of it on purpose, or is they forcing you to do it? No, man. Do you live on the road? Because I know some guys actually live in their trucks. But anyway, until you answer that, okay, so I'm a company driver. I have been since day one. You're a company driver still, and you care about their fuel, man. Shout out to you, Kenneth, because a lot of company drivers don't care about the fuel. They put pedal to the metal. It ain't my fuel. Let's go. So shout out to you, man, for caring for your company like that, man. You're a good driver. They should keep you around for a while, man. If you care to that's why you want to trade that truck in for 2023, because you get a new truck. Yeah, they got it, get it. Why not, man? If it's your truck, it's a different story. But anyway, any more questions, guys? Please put in the chat. Anybody put in the chat. So here we go. I ain't gonna be here alone tonight, guys. Because I'm a little tired, man. I'm not lying. But truck drivers out there, the ones who get left behind in trucking is the ones who don't evolve in trucking. And what I mean is, if you thinking you just gonna keep doing trucking the way you're doing it right now, you've been doing it the last 30 years, then you gonna do it going forward, you're in for a rude awakening, man, because at the end of the day, trucking is evolving and people are not. So I know guys that's older, a lot of older guys I know, they usually have this problem. And I try telling them, man, you better start. It ain't too late to learn some stuff, man. Start like really learning new skills while you in that truck all this time. But some of them tell me, man, no, I'm gonna be trucking till it's over with, till it's over. I'll be like, man, I'll be shaking my head like when everything changes. Everything changes. Even trucking industry changes all the time. But right now we're starting to see the drastic change. So what you gonna do when they don't need teams no more? What you gonna do when they don't need as many drivers no more? What you gonna do? That's my question, man. And some guys, all they know is trucking. They don't know other skills. Kenneth Snyder says, I live in a dead zone, South Florida, and for the company benefits, add my benefits too. I stay at 6 weeks at a time, home 7 days. If I had a choice in the matter, I would choose a Freightliner Cascade in 2017. Why 17? What's the difference? He says getting close to 500,000 miles with this Freightliner. Okay, yeah, man. And that's the downside. Actually, I did a video. I don't know if I did it. I think I did do a video about that. Did I do a video about that? I think I did a live about it. I don't know. It's somewhere on the channel. I was talking about being in dead zones. This is a perfect example. Some guys that live in dead zones have to go over the road if they do trucking because it's not a lot of friends in the area they at. But if somebody live in the metro, big Chicagoland area like I do, and it happens more than you know. We live in this big area with Chicago freight, and they still try to force us to go over the road, like stretch out. I called. I think I was with. I don't even want to mention their name, man, because they might be watching. Because the last live I did, I mentioned some stuff on there, and let's say YouTube wasn't too happy about it. I got a couple messages. Let's just say that. So I got to watch what I say. But I would just, man, trucking is something. Man, I used to love trucking. Now, here's a story. For those who in here and those who watch this on replay, check this out. I'm gonna say this story because people think that I don't like trucking. I do. Man, when I first got into trucking, I used to love trucking. It was between trucking or go to the Army. I don't know if anybody watch my story how I became a truck driver. You'll find out that I went to a recruiter's office. I said, nope, this ain't for me, and I started driving trucks. But anyway, I started driving trucks, and I realized that okay, I like the big truck. I don't like being on the road, but I like the challenge of it, right? And so I started doing it for a while, and I was like, man, I like this, man. Then after a couple years in, I realized, man, there's a lot of games with this, man. But then I'm like, okay, well, it's part of the territory. So I still like it. I was actually loving it until about, I say almost 10 years in. After 10 years, I realized, okay, I got to start doing something different because I keep hitting the reset button in the trucking and I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. So if I don't start making changes in my thinking, I'm being in this loop until it's over with. You know what I'm saying? From the trucking company, you have a honeymoon phase. For those who don't know, if you get the trucking, you have like a grace period of they treat you nice, like a honeymoon phase, right? They give you the good runs, they give you all the good stuff to kind of get you hooked in there. And then once you be in there like 30 days, 60 days, some companies go 90 days, but that's stretching it. Then you realize it ain't as great as it was. They give you the good sweet work just to get you hooked. And once you get in there, not all companies, but a lot of them do it. And then you get in there, you realize, man, they start giving you the crazy work, the craziest work. And you realize, man, what have I got myself into, man? So you go talking to people, telling them, hey, man, hey, what we doing? This stuff ain't making sense. And they say, well, what you gonna do? You gonna quit? You gonna go home? What you gonna do? And then you start making decisions. So I still love driving trucks to this day, but I realized I see the market. And over 20 years, I've seen it do this, I've seen it do that, I've seen it come way up, I've seen it come way down. And I realized that, man, this is a rat race. This is a rat race. And I got a video coming out explaining what a rat race really is. Because I said, and I know other people said, but do we really understand what a rat race is? It's a financial loop. It's like a loop. Your life is in a loop. It's like you're on a hamster wheel. And if you ain't careful, 5 years to go by, you doing the same thing. 10 years to go by, you're doing the same thing. 20 years. Now your back is all out of there. You getting out the chair, you the shape of the chair, walking out the truck. And you can't even do nothing else in your life because that's all you did because you kept hitting the reset button because you didn't catch on to the fact that you was in a rat race. So I actually like driving trucks. I just realized the rat race syndrome. And I realized, no, you got to start making some changes, man. That's why I named the title this, You Got to Be Different. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. You got to be able to grow your mind and be able to do different things in trucking while you driving a truck. Why the trucking is still active if you're a company driver. Hold on, man. You still have to. I forgot that threw me off, man. I think I'm one track minded, man. Because once I get thrown off, man, it threw me off completely. I need some water. Skip that. Anyway, what I was saying was, what's I saying? Anyway, if you're gonna be a truck driver, have a plan. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, borrow a plan and just see you figure out your own plan. And I'm gonna go back to the comments for 1 second. All right, Jeffrey Spike Senior says the reason I had tanker and hazmat delivered CO2, did flatbed, did dry van, did sandbox. Hey Jeffrey, do you see progress in your career? That's the question I got because that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of tanker and hazmat can go together. CO2, that's a straight hazmat. Then flatbed, that's a whole different division. Dry van is a whole different division. And sandbox, I'm assuming that's a whole other division. So it seems like you're well versed in divisions. Do you see progress in your career? That's the question. A lot of guys, they see you hitting the reset button. Every time they switch divisions or switch companies, they start back over from the bottom. So as long as you're making progress, that's my question. So my thing is, like, if you're a driver, man, if you're a trucker, if you whatever, just be able to look 5 miles or 5 years. I would say 5 years. I said 5 miles. The trucking stuff kicking in. 5 years ahead at least, and see where the industry is going, so you won't be stuck. You won't be stuck, man. Like, it's gonna be a lot of drivers real salty and stuff, man. When this industry start making turns, we gonna start striking. Like, I think they just had a strike. They had a strike like, I don't know, last week. Was it last week? Last week, some drivers went on strike about some money, about trucking and money. Like I said in one video, driver market's coming to an end. I said in that video, man, you could have the strikes, but people gonna start running because they got notes, they got bills, they got kids, they got families. And so you sitting there wanna, hey man, we gotta stand our ground on this, but you gotta understand something. Every trucker financial situation is different. You got some guys that got nest egg saved up, they can sit. You got some guys that's man, the wolf at the door. They can't sit. So what you gonna do? They gonna say, well, as long as you sit, more work for me. That's how some guys think. Let me get to the comments, guys. Hold on right back. Eugene, what's going on, Eugene? What's going on, bro? Trucking is good and bad, like everything we do. Can't just look at the money part of it. Have to make sure trucking fit your lifestyle. Yep, I agree with that 100%, Eugene. All right, Kendra Snyder said, in this business, you have to be the best you can be. Always continuously improve on that. I have always learned the hard way, but I always get it eventually. Ha ha ha. Long as you learn, Kenneth, long as you learn. Do you know some guys don't learn? It took me years to learn. It took me 10 years to even figure out what's going on, man. Now you call that slow, you won't. I'm secure in myself. But it took me 10 years to really figure out what's going on, man. So hey man, as long as you learn, Kenneth. But anybody out there driving, man, learn. And if you don't know how to look 5 years ahead, then what you do is get a mentor or coach. Get somebody, man, that's been in this game for a while. Ask them. And here's another thing. Here's the nugget. I better say this. Hold on, I'll see you, Jeffrey. I better say this before I forget. Here's the nugget. Learn how to ask better questions. See, I get people that sometimes they come to me. I see you, Jeffrey. I'm gonna look at it 1 second. I get guys that come to me. This is how they come to me, right? Sometimes either text or in person. Hey man, how much money you make? You asking the wrong question. Or they may say, hey man, how much money can I make if I ran for your company you with right now? You asking the wrong questions. I'm not even the right questions to ask. But anyway, I'll get to that 1 second. Jeffrey Spike says, I absolutely see the progress because of what I was doing, getting the experience to be able to move around. Once I would be power only, I could be able to pull whatever. As long as you see progress, Jeffrey, that's the whole goal, man. Progress. Not perfection, but progress. Eugene says, you always said that, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. You got to, man. If you just a truck driver, man, you can be miserable. If you just a truck driver, you're going to be miserable. Even if you love trucking, because this industry will leave a bad taste in your mouth. You're like, man, why they acting like that? Don't you know I got bills at home? They know you got bills. They don't care. It's up to you to care. Do you care? That's the question. And back to what I was saying about questions. Learn how to ask the right question. Right question is, man, how can I position myself as a trucker to be able to make more money in this industry? Now you'll get a better answer versus, hey man, can I make a lot of money in that? Do you make a lot of money doing that? How much money can I make? So generic. The questions are so generic, and you'll get a generic answer, and then you go out there and try to apply the generic answer, you'll get a generic result. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, and I don't knock the people who don't know. That's why I'm saying they don't hear it. Learn how to ask better questions, become a better driver, to become a better person. Get a coach or a mentor to show you how to do that. What say, Eugene? We go way back for sure, man. Oh man, me and Eugene had plenty of conversations about this stuff. He know. That's why he's saying that, because he know we go way back, man. We talk about this all the time. And Eugene been driving over 20 years. He know. So, like that guy in the last week, talking about, man, I've been doing this a week. I don't know what you guys complaining about. Man, like my mom used to tell me, keep living. You'll figure out. You can't figure out all that in 1 week. Man, come on, man. man, maybe somebody able to get to it and do it better than us. I get it. I'm not knocking them. Maybe you know something I don't know. Maybe you know how to position yourself in trucking earlier on than I do. That's cool. As long as you got a plan and know what you're doing. But if you don't have a plan, you have nothing, you say, I just know more than everybody out here, y'all all stupid and I know what I'm doing, man, then I would say keep living. That's all I can say, man. Keep living. And I hope the best for you, you know what I'm saying? But with that attitude, you ain't get far. You don't get far. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. If you got any more questions, put in the chat right quick, guys. I can't even see how long. Okay, I see up there how long I've been on here. Okay, cool. But so what I'm saying is, if you're a truck driver, become more than just truck driver. Once you learn the basics of trucking, and let's just say you already might know in your mind that I don't want to be driving for long. I may want to drive 5 years. I may want to drive 10 years. Hold on, girl. Well, I may want to drive 10 years. Then 10 years, you got to start implementing your plan now. 9 times out of 10, where you are today is something, the decision you made 5 years ago, at least 5 years ago. So if you want to be somewhere else in the next 5 years, you got to start making decisions today. A lot of us, we got to stop thinking further ahead instead of now. I did a video about I don't know, I keep forgetting the name. I keep mentioning the videos I did, I keep forgetting the titles. So I did a video about when I was talking about when I first got into owner operator business. I was thinking of right now because the background I come from, we come from the day by day, moment by moment act, you know what I'm saying? And so I took the same mentality into this and I realized it was all wrong, man. But I'll get to that in 1 second, go back to the comments. Eugene says, what works for me might work for nobody else. I took care of my family and gave back from trucking. Man, exactly, Eugene. As long as you actually making it, my whole thing, this is my personal thing. This ain't a general thing. Whatever you're doing, we talking about trucking on here, right? If you are driving a truck, long as it's working for you, you know what I'm saying? Long as you making it work, that's what matters. That's what really matters. At the end of the day, as long as it's working for you. When I say working for you, I think I did a video of that. Go check the video out. How you make trucking work for you. All right. I hope I don't mess your name up. Daniel Sadawi, shout out to Canada. Right, welcome to the chat. Daniel. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, Daniel. So I'm gonna say DS. What's going on, DS, man? Welcome to the chat. Shout out to Canada. But yeah, trucking is a very volatile industry. You could be up 2 months, 3 months, and be down for. It's Daniel. Oh, you said it's Daniel. Oh, you got an A on there. So it's Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Okay, Daniel's Sawadi. Sidawadi. DS. I'm gonna call you DS. I don't want to mess your name up because I don't want to disrespect nobody's name, man. DS, shout out to you, man. But again, I forgot what I was saying. Son of a biscuit eater. Yeah, DS is cool. Shout out, man. Sorry, man. I don't want to mess your name up, man. Sorry about that. But man, I forgot what I was saying, man. But anyway, trucking it's one of them things, man, where it's volatile. That's what I was saying. I think I'm rolling with it. It's up and down, man. So you could be up a couple months, you could be down a couple months. The truck you driving, go in the shop, whatever happens. My thing is, why you in that truck? Why you spend all that time in that truck? You got time, free time, learn some stuff, man. Don't be afraid to learn a new skill. Don't be afraid to learn how to make trucking better for you. Don't be afraid to learn how to become more vested in trucking and position yourself better in trucking. It's more than one way to make a living in trucking than just driving behind the wheel. I'm gonna just throw some things out here right now in case you haven't thought about it. You can make money in trucking by being a technical supporter, or ELD mechanic. You could be what some people call IT. You could be an IT guy for the logs. You know what I'm saying? Like Qualcomm. I can't count times I had to call Qualcomm because my Qualcomm was jacked up. I'm a trucker. It's in a truck. I had to call them. You could be the person I call for that, but that's trucking. Man, you could be a mechanic in trucking. You could be so many ways you can make money in trucking besides driving a truck. That's why I say when you learn how to position yourself in trucking better, you can still drive, just learn other things. Let me go to the chat real quick, guys. All right, Jeffrey Spike says, is there a time of the year that gets slow in the container business? It used to be January, February, March. Since Corona hit, it's hit or miss, man. It's slow right now. Usually right now be booming because you know the season is in right now where things start to boom, but it's slow. For the most part, where I'm at, it's slow. So it used to be January, February, March. So I don't know, Jeffrey. It's kind of I'm watching the market. I'm just studying it right now to see. Hopefully, I can get a gauge on it when it's gonna be slow again. I just watch it and see. But right now, it's kind of like a hit and miss right now from what I'm looking at. Idea says, shout out to all the truckers. I'm a shipper and receiver. Oh man, shout out to you, man. Hey, DS, I don't know if you watch my videos, man. I got a video coming out about being docked up. I hope you ain't one of the ones that dock people up, man. When I say docked up, I mean hold you on hostage on a dock, man. That's what I'm talking about, docked up. But shout out to you, DS, for being in here. All right, Eugene McDonald says, people think the more trucks, the better, or the more money, the better. If you're not disciplined and plan and think before making decisions, no rushing. Yeah, yeah. I think before anybody, I think this is my personal opinion. I think before somebody go buying more than one truck, become an owner operator of one truck, I think you should do a mental assessment to find out even if you even that type of person who can handle that type of responsibility. Hold on. What the heck? Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you, Kenneth and Daniel, in 1 second. Let me finish the thought real quick before I forget it, like I think I did. Son of a biscuit, dude. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, let me go to the comments. All right, Kenneth Snyder, you say you're home 20 in Chicago. I call Chicago the zoo. You might as well tear down the signs on the road because nobody reads them. Yeah, man. Welcome to Chicago. I'm used to it. It's like when you get used to something that is normal to you, you don't even pay attention no more. You're just used to it. Idea says, "No, I'm efficient with it. Try to get the job done ASAP, man." But we appreciate guys like you, DS, man. Guys like me love y'all. Cause it's them shippers and receivers, man. They go on the list. You know what the list is. I ain't coming back there unless you change your name, and I don't recognize the address. And I might get suckered to come back to a place like that. But if you able to get people in and out, man, shout out to you, man. Cause drivers make money being productively moving, and we got a DEOD that counts down. Shout out to you, DS, man. Appreciate that, man, for you doing that. But truck drivers, man, you can make a lot of money. That's what I was saying. Found it, and I better say it before I forget it again. You can make a lot of money in trucking. We gotta think bigger than just driving a truck. And now, if you just want more trucks, driving a truck, that's fine. I mean, do what you do. Have a plan. That's all I care about. Well, that's all I care that you think you should care about, because it ain't gonna make no sense if you out there doing all this for nothing. So you can make a lot of money in trucking without even driving a truck, man. You could overhead of a truck without spending all that time on the road. Without Now, if you want to do that stuff, that's cool. But if you want to do that stuff and eventually find an exit way out, think about all the ways you can make money in trucking without actually being behind the wheel. And surprisingly, a lot of them positions make more money than drivers who actually putting in the work. And that's the problem I have right there. That's the problem. That's one of the problems I have. Guys out here making a lot of money that ain't even putting in the work. The guys out here behind the wheel, sending all this traffic, sending roads getting shut down. Weather finna get bad. It's gonna start snowing outside up here in this part. So then you gotta sit in snowstorms. You gotta sit in guys sliding into ditches. You try not to slide into no ditch because a four-wheeler cut you off. You know, and then you get into docks where not Daniel dock, because he get you in and out, but docks where they hold your house, they kill your clock. You know what I'm saying? And they minimizing our money because of the barrier to entry is so low. If you look at the stats of what the money we make now as truck drivers, I ain't even talking about owner operators. I'm talking regular company drivers. Back in the 90s and 80s, they was making a lot more money than we making now as a company driver. And owner operators was really killing it. So now, if you look at the money we make now, it's similar, if not less, than what they was making back then. So you got to factor in. Let's say we was making $3,000 a week. I'm just gonna throw this out there as an owner operator. Back then in the 90s and 80s, right? You making $3,000 a week today. Inflation, I don't know, was it 5%, 3 to 5%? I know it went up over the years, at least 3 to 5% per year or 2 years. But let's not even talk about inflation. Let's just talk about the fuel. Fuel back then was under a dollar a gallon. So you made $3,000 and you bought 100 gallons of fuel. 100 gallons, $100. Today, $3,000 and you bought 100 gallons of fuel. Do that times what's the average, national average right now? 525, 535, 545, 559, something like that. $4, $3 to $4 more now than it was then, but you're making the same amount of money. I'm just using example making the same money. Insurance is higher, everything is higher, but your pay is still the same, if not lower. And I thought about it because when they deregulated trucking, because trucking was like trucking used to be like a hidden jewel. Like nobody really looked at trucking like it's a big thing back in the day. Until it got deregulated, you had them outlaw truckers running wild, bringing some attention to the industry because a lot of guys was crashing because they were like running double logs, et cetera, et cetera. So the government officials stopped paying attention to trucking. They stopped paying attention. Like, oh, we got to regulate these guys. We've been deregulating a lot of these stuff they're doing. So now we can put our paws in them. And they doing it every year. They come up with different stuff. Like the ELDs came out. Before that, you had you had your 60-hour rule. You had all that stuff more critiqued. Like you used to be able to like drive. You had to drive. I think it was you had to drive work or drive 4 hours straight before you had to take a break before it reset your 8 hours again. Like you had to take a 30-minute break. Now you got to drive for 8 hours straight before you do it. So they keep changing it because their eyes is on truckers now. So now they realize, hey man, why are we paying this guy so much? ATA went to some. I don't even want to say that because last time YouTube said something about that. I mean, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll be back to that. All right, DS says some of the container business is wacky. I shipped 9 pallets on a 53-foot container that was going direct to the yard with no other pickups. That was Walmart logistics for you. Oh, Walmart? I mean, you talking about Walmart, man. We talking about Walmart, man. They make their rules. How you ever sign? Well, Walmart bills, when you pick up their loads, you got to sign for every individual bill for Walmart. They dealers. I shouldn't even say that either because they probably going to ban me on YouTube. YouTube, don't block me. I'm sorry. Anyway, I digress. But Walmart position themselves. Now, we not as big as Walmart, doing what we do out here. Right? We run containers, flatbeds, skateboard, load decks, step decks, whatever you're doing in trucking. But you could position yourself in your personal life. Like in the academy, we show you how to find out how to make your company driver position work for you. Because you might not have to become an owner-operator to make more money. How to really make it be successful in it. Like come out tomorrow, my boy, man, he really found out how to make trucking work for him. He's growing. He's buying trucks in this market. So he's doing something right. And I told him, I just don't, he already know, we talk. I just don't want to go that route. I'm going a different route. He don't mind. He loves the challenge of more trucks and more drivers and personnel growing. He love it. I'm not built for that, man. I could do it, but I ain't built for. I don't want to do it. All right, DS says the big box distribution logistics is king. We go by the rules. I know y'all do, man. I know I ain't even gotta say it. It's what's understood to be said, right? I know you already know because at the end of the day, man, Amazon, Walmart, Snyder Logistics, man, you can name them on and on and on. XPO, the logistics side of it. A lot of them, they big dogs, man. I could tell they big dogs because when you go on some of these rail yards, like I did a video, man. I ain't gonna try to name the title because it's one of them videos. Well, I went to this rail yard and I was going to get a chassis out the rail yard, right? I was going to get a box, an empty container on the chassis out the rail yard. These guys gonna tell me I can't grab that. And I say, why not? It's here to grab, it's right in the open. What's stopping me from just grabbing this thing and going? He said, well, the company, I ain't gonna say it on here because they might YouTube, they fickled, man. This company pays so much money to reserve these many boxes and these many chassis for them, and you can't grab it. I said, man, what we do to make this go away? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he wouldn't let me get it. That lets me know that if you big enough, you can make some rules. Like in some of these container yards, it's some carriers out here that's so big when they trucks have problems in the mechanical line in the yard, they make a call, and the mechanic see to them. I said, man, why they do that? Why they do that at? Like, what? How come I ain't never got that privilege? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where I was going with that, but man, this goes back to the big box distribution centers, logistics. Y'all go by their rules. I understand. I understand that. Now we not big like that, small guys like us. We just out here trying to get our piece of the pie. So like again, I'm gonna go back to the topic at hand. If you guys got any questions, you can put in the chat right now. It's been almost an hour already, man. Yeah, guys, you got any chats, please put it in right now because I'm trying to go no more than about an hour and 5. So I don't want these lives to be too long, man. You know what I'm saying? Eugene McDonald says, "Me too, bro. It works long as the work there, bro. People have different relationships. Relationships is key, man. In trucking, you know what I'm saying? Like deals could be done over a handshake, man. You could be qualified, you could have the equipment, you could be ready to go, but if my man's right here, he got the same qualified, but I know him on a relationship level. I know he's qualified one more person. A handshake. All your qualifications get pushed aside. The only you not really qualified, you are qualified, but relationships, key relationships, is real key in this, man. People, what's the saying go? I'm gonna go shake hands and kiss. I thought that was just a saying. No, that really happens. Golfing together. Could they go golfing together? At the end of that golf game, they got a contract. You want hot tea? Hot tea, what you drink? I drink that too. Let's talk. At the end of that little tea meeting, contract. That's why relationships is real good, man. Like our guys that I came up the ranks with in trucking, like we all started like around the same time. And now because we got good relationships, like a lot of these guys I know, they got trucking companies, they carriers. Like the one guy on my video tomorrow, he's a carrier. I could always just go work for him if I wanted to. I'm just saying, there's one out of plenty of people I know. But I'm glad we got relationships like that because when you have relationships like that, good relationships, you can be able to get a lot further in this game. You know what I'm saying? It's not you brown nosing or nothing. It's just like I offered him, like I was actually coaching him. You know what I'm saying? But in turn, he helped me out too. We helped each other. It was a two-way street. But he decided to grow a fleet. Well, one of them decided to grow a fleet. But anyway, I'll get to this one second. All right, Kenneth Snyder says it's pretty sad when we have to match what we say. It's supposed to be America, freedom of speech, and all being censored. That's not right. I'm not. I got a feeling that's going to change real soon. Man, Kenneth, you only knew, boy. Like YouTubers, man. Like I don't get it. I would say influencer. I would look at myself as an influencer, not just a YouTuber. And I'm gonna get you DS. Hold on. Need some water, real quick. Hold on, guys. Yes. We get messages, man. We get strikes. You get strikes in your account. Like they say, it's a freedom of speech, man. They monitor what you say. So that's why I say I gotta watch what I say. Like a lot of things I want to say on here, but I just can't say it because I don't want the video to get taken down or because it's some information in these videos that I want people to hear and be able to learn from. But I gotta tiptoe what I'm saying because if I don't, it's not a freedom of speech. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, Kenneth. A lot of smoke and mirrors. All right, DS says, are the containers you pulling from overseas mostly or within the country? Well, I do domestic now. I was doing overseas containers, but I do domestic now. Eugene says, sell me that truck, bro. Eugene, I promise you, man, you the first one, Lord willing, when I decide to walk away from the whole thing, throw the keys in there, you the first one I'm gonna get a truck to, bro. I promise you that, because if it's still there, you know what I'm saying? But I got you, bro. I got you, man. Been trying to buy my truck for the last 5 years, man. I've been trying to settle for the last 5 years too. Not really. Anyway, anybody got any more questions though? Put in the chat real quick, guys, before we get up out of here. I try to drop as much knowledge, and this live was pretty full, so I think I'm gonna leave this one up. They full, I'm gonna leave them up. They kind of empty them, you know, I have to take them down because I don't believe in wasting just probably video just to have it up. You know what I'm saying? And Lord willing, we do this every Sunday night going forward at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys got any questions, bring them in. I'll try to put a topic on that so when you guys don't have no questions in the chat, I can start talking about a topic to find a reason to lead us up. That's the reason I do it. Now, I don't touch on the topic a lot because questions come in, but when they're not coming in, actually, I want the questions to come in. And it's people, man, not everybody, it's some really cool subscribers out here, but them people who really think they know some stuff, I invite them to come on here, like not just know some stuff, because you can know stuff, but we try to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know what I'm living. I try to invite them on a live so that way we could have it, we could discuss it, you know what I'm saying, live, you know, versus trying to message you, trying to message me, and trying to message you. No, if you watch this replay and you feel like you the one, you know what I'm talking about. Come on the lives. Be on his Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come on live on here right, man, so we can talk. We chat it out, man. And like I say, once this live start building up more and more, Lord willing, I get more traction with this. I'm gonna have a line so you guys can call in. That way, and you guys can hear the phone calls on. You guys call in. And also another thing too, if you're in Chicagoland area, and you want to be on camera, and you want mind being on camera, and you got your trucker story to tell to help out the people, shoot me a text at hold on. Shoot me a text. It might be the same business number that I had before. Shoot me a text at 224-704-1932. 224-704-1932. If you want to learn about the academy, text, book a call, so we get fit. Or we just want to be on a YouTube video with me interviewing you, and you got a story to tell, text YouTube to that number, 224-704-1932. If you live in the Chicagoland area, we could probably work something out where we could kind of get you on camera and tell your story. Just you got a story to tell. And then I got a couple of things over here, guys, and I think I'm gonna end it after this. All right, Eugene. Nothing is never free as long as you on other people's platform have to own or it to say or do what you want again. Do what you want to again. We never free people. Man, I concur that statement, brother. Yeah, man, you gotta watch what you say, man. This is their platform. I'm just utilizing their form. That's their platform. That's all. Idea says worst experience at a customer or worst experience at a customer. They held me up 5 hours. No, 6 hours. That was the worst experience, man. Now people can talk crazy to me on the dock all you want. Now I'll brush it off, man. Whatever. Just load my stuff up, but give me a load. Let me out. Let me go. But when you hold me hostage, man, oh man, I got a problem with that. So the worst experience, DS, I'll say I ever had was them guys, man. They were so unorganized that they wouldn't even come out and tell me. Here's another thing too. DS, you probably experienced this too, and I'm gonna say this. Thank you for the question too. If a shipper receiver, I'm gonna say a shipper. If a shipper know the freight is not ready, instead of them telling the driver to give them options, they just keep telling them stories and stringing them along like that. Like 6 hours, man. 6 hours. All they had to do is tell me, man, look, this thing be ready for this time. I could have dropped the trailer, left. I was close. I was in Chicago area when I did it. I could have dropped the trailer and came back for it instead of me sitting there holding me in the dock for 6 hours. Man, I ain't gonna lie, it got a little heated on that dock, man. I ain't gonna say you're gonna hear what happened, but it got a little heated, man. And it didn't have to be, you know what I'm saying? So my worst experience is getting held up at the dock for 6 hours, man. As at a customer. And then one other customer, I had another bad experience. I almost got into a fight with a guy over a trailer. He had my trailer. I did a video about it, about that particular thing. I forgot what video it was in. This guy had my trailer. This other customer. I was looking for this trailer. This guy was parked up under with his tractor. When somebody parked up under their truck or with their tractor up on the trailer, I don't look at the box. I figured it's your trailer. Why would you be sitting up under somebody else's trailer? Right? So I'm just driving around the yard, and I'm like, man, I don't see this tractor. I don't see this trailer. I go back in the office, hey man, y'all shoot this trailer out here? Yeah, it's out there, nobody took it. So I drive around again, I see this dude sitting up under my trailer, and I say, hey man, they gave me the trailer, you gotta move. He was like, man, my box, my trailer, stop, man. Tried to run me over with the truck, man. You wanted to go throw hands in the yard of a box? I'm like, dude, boy. So that was like the two cases. There's plenty more, but them are the two that stick out of my head right now. All right, that DS says, when my freight isn't ready, I tell them how long it's going to be and not lie. Man, shout out to you, brother. We need more like you. You do that, man, guys will stick around. If you give a driver an option, they stick around. You give them options. You know, don't lie to them. Anyway, I'm back. All right. I tell he can wait. Hold on. I tell he can wait, or he can tell dispatcher someone else can come and get it later. That's called communication, man. DS, if more people was like you, man, these shippers and receivers wouldn't get a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? Especially with me, man. I mean, if you level with me, I say, man, how long is it gonna be? You tell me, and I can make a decision. Sometimes I worked it out because here's my number, man. I'm gonna drop this trailer. Here's my number, man. When it's ready, call me. I will be back to get it. I could go do something else besides sitting here looking at a whole shift change. And those who know what I'm talking about, who set a dock long enough, you see 2 different shifts come in because you set that so long. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this live, guys. Man, this live was full. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to you guys who rock with me, man. I really enjoy doing this, and I ain't gonna lie, my eyes are like really red right now. You guys can't see it, but I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. A lot of stuff was going on today, which almost didn't cause me to do the live, but I try to be a man of my word, so I still did the live. You guys can see I came up some. I don't have my phone. Phone right here. Camera up there, baby. Ha. Camera up there. All right, DS, you have a good night too, man. So anyway, all right, YouTube. Hope this live stream was helpful. Give you a little understanding what's going on around here. I'll see you guys in the video. Peace.